and welcome. My name is Michael Smith. I'm the chef from Moxie restaurant in Central. Welcome today to this Facebook live feed in association with the Miele Guest Chef Series. Today I'm going to be cooking with you two plant-based dishes that we have on the menu at Moxie. We're going to be making a chickpea panisse and a coconut panna cotta. During the feed today, we're going to be having a mini game where I'd like to hear from you to hear the most creative plant-based breakfast dish you've been making at home. So please go ahead, leave your answers in the comments below, and at the end I'll be choosing a winner with a chance to win a breakfast for two at Moxie. So the first dish today, we're going to be making the panisse. For this, we need to head out to the garden to grab some fresh herbs. Your answers in the comments Okay, so here we have some beautiful basil and some fresh thyme. We're going to be using these for the panisse today. So panisse, simply it's a chickpea cake. We're going to be serving today with a sauce romesco and charred leeks. First thing we're going to do today, we've got some water here on the boil. We're going to be adding all of our ingredients: oil, salt and garlic, cornmeal and chickpea flour. In we go. We want to be careful as we're doing this. Obviously it's boiling away. We want to whisk as we're cooking to ensure that nothing sticks to the base of the pot. So this is a dish that needs to be made a few hours in advance. We're going to be cooking this flour out now for around 10 minutes. Afterwards, we're going to be popping it in the fridge for a few hours to set. Just going to turn the heat down now as it starts to bubble away. We don't want to catch ourselves. Just hydrating the flour here. We do need to give it a good whisk. Make sure we haven't got any lumps left in here. And we go with some grated garlic. Now, whilst this is cooking away, I'm just going to grab my broken whisk out of here and replace it with a new one. I'm also going to grab our thyme, just roughly chop our thyme to go with our parsley. Okay, no need to be too fine here, especially if you're making this at home. The idea with these dishes, they're refined enough that we can serve them in the restaurant, but also simple enough and humble enough that you can serve at home, whether that be for the family, for the kids, or whether it be for a dinner party, inviting some friends over. This looks like it might be a little bit too thick here. I'm just going to add another splash of water. So as we're making this, you may be thinking, you know, can we swap out the parsley or the thyme for other fresh herbs or maybe some other spices? Absolutely. Be as creative as you wish. You know, you could be adding some chili, some peppercorns maybe, basil, parsley, thyme, tarragon, sage, rosemary. All of these herbs would work just perfectly. I have a question from one of our viewers at home. Whilst we're cooking this, can I use an electric whisk? You know, if that makes you more comfortable, of course you can. Really, I would use an electric whisk if I was looking to aerate something. I'm not really looking to aerate this here. I'm just looking to fully hydrate the chickpea flour as it comes together now. So just by hand should be sufficient. In we go with our herbs. Now, as this comes together, we're going to look to set this in a line tray. Beautiful. Perfect. So just be careful as you do this as to not burn yourself. This will be very hot. So, as I said earlier, this one's going to go into the fridge now. It's going to go in for a few hours to firm up into a nice cake. Afterwards, we'll be pan frying. Lovely. Okay, here's a panisse I set a few hours ago. This one nice and firm, as you can see. Perfect to pan fry. So into the pan here, just a drizzle of oil. We're not looking to deep fry this. It is just a shallow fry. When we go to cook this, we are just going to dust this in some extra cornmeal. So to go with this panisse today, we have some beautiful Japanese leeks. We've just braised these for around 7 or 8 minutes. They're going to go into the pan with the panisse. We also have 2 types of figs here. This is a European black fig from France. And if you can get these are golden figs from Hong Kong. We're going to be using these today. Great, so this pan's warming up here. I'm going to go in with the panisse. At the same time, just use one pan. We'll have our leeks in here, and we're going to add the figs in a couple of minutes. We don't want to burn those figs. Okay, we're going to be pan frying this panisse for maybe around 4 minutes. We're looking to have it nice and crispy and golden throughout the outside and warm through the middle. So this is a dish we have on the menu at Moxie. I tasted this dish for the first time this year, and ironically, as someone who eats a predominantly plant-based diet and doesn't eat any meat, the first thing I thought about when I tasted this panisse was flavor-wise and texturally. It took me back to my childhood, and it tasted just like chicken dippers, which was quite amusing to myself and my team in that moment. Okay. Here these leeks starting to sizzle now. We'll get the figs in the pan. All right. Now, whilst that's working, we have a sauce romesco to accompany this dish. Now, romesco is a red pepper-based condiment. Of course, if you didn't want to use red pepper today, you could use a tomato sauce, you could use a mayonnaise, you could use a spiced yogurt, you know, a curry sauce maybe. Feel free to be creative. Okay, so for our sauce romesco, we're going to be using sliced almonds, red peppers. These are roasted and peeled red peppers, some tomato paste, garlic, red wine vinegar, and a little bit of Calabrian chili paste for a little bit of heat. Lovely. Here I have a sauce romesco that I've made earlier on today. Now again with this sauce, I just took all of these ingredients and pulsed them in a food processor. It's not too fine, it's a chunky sauce. Beautiful. This panisse here is going to take a couple more minutes just to crisp up. Again, should resemble a chicken dipper. So to garnish the dish today, we have some green olives, celery, some baby artichokes, and endive. Now the endive is just cut into a nice shape here, just to give the dish some height as we dress. Yeah, so I have a question from one of the viewers at home. Will it not set after going to the fridge for several hours? Yeah, so the thing is here, obviously as with any kind of set cake, we need to cool this down and press with another tray on top in the fridge. Once it goes cool, it's going to set. No water's going to come out of it. We're just looking for it to cool down really and press firm. Once that's done, you can take it out and portion it into any shape you like. I've gone for nice rectangles here. You can portion it into squares if you like. Really doesn't matter. Okay, these are almost ready here. Nice and crispy. I'm going to take these out of the pan. So first thing onto the plate, I'm going to go with the chickpea panisse. On top with some charred leeks. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I have a question for one of our viewers. Is there any other sauce I'd recommend instead of romesco? Again, be creative here. Could be a tomato cassundi. That's a spiced tomato chutney. That will work really nice. Spiced yogurt maybe, or a herb sauce would work great as well. Just a reminder for anyone watching at home, join in with our mini game today. Drop your answers in the comments below and I'll be choosing a winner at the end of the live feed for a chance to win breakfast for two at Moxie. Okay, we have some green olives. Some fresh, thinly sliced celery. Baby artichoke. And some nicely sliced endive. And there we have our first dish for today. Now next up we're going to be looking to make our coconut and yuzu panna cotta. Now this is a panna cotta that I'm using agar today to replace gelatine, so we keep this dish plant-based. I have coconut cream here. Now in order for agar to set, we need to heat this to 90 degrees for at least 2 minutes. It's important to do that, otherwise this panna cotta will not set. So in our pan here we have coconut cream, a pinch of salt, a small pinch of salt, sugar and the agar. Once this is cooked out for around 2 minutes, we're going to be adding some fresh yuzu juice before we set these in a glass. Again, for this dessert, similar to the panisse, we need to be making this dessert in a few hours in advance so that the panna cotta has time to set in the fridge. Just be careful as we're cooking this panna cotta out. We need to keep continually whisking this coconut cream just so that this cream doesn't catch and burn to the bottom of the pan. I have a question from one of our viewers: how easy is it to find agar in the supermarket? Yeah, I appreciate this is an ingredient that perhaps you will not have used before at home. You should be able to find it in any of the large supermarkets or small delis. City Super, I would presume, would have this ingredient. So this cream's coming to a boil now. This is where we really want to continually whisk away. We don't want this to burn on the base of the pot. So very important that we do boil for 2 minutes. Okay, we're going to finish this off. We're going to turn off the heat now. finish this with some fresh yuzu juice. Once that's all incorporated in, we're going to strain this off. Okay. So I'm setting this panna cotta in a latte glass today. Of course, you could set inside a bowl. It could be a glass. It could be, maybe if you're doing a dinner party at home, it could be in a martini glass. Up to you. Okay. I'm going to pop these into the fridge now. They're going to take a few hours to set. Okay, whilst they're setting in the fridge, I'm going to be looking to make two things to go with this dessert. First, a rhubarb compote, so some stewed rhubarb, beautiful English fruit, and also a pineapple granita to accompany that. So for those of you who haven't seen, this is rhubarb. Shape, texture, it looks similar to a celery. A very tart fruit. I wouldn't recommend it in this raw. It does take a lot of sugar. I have some rhubarb chopped here. I'm going to just stew this down. I'm using around 25% weight of rhubarb in sugar, so it's a very tart fruit. Okay, I'm just going to pop this rhubarb into the pot. A splash of water. This is just going to help with the cooking process. Sugar goes in. Now this is going to take probably around 20 to 30 minutes. We'll bring that to a boil and stew that down. Now it's not going to need blending, but it is just going to break down as it cooks, and we're just going to sort of mash away at it. We're going to finish this with some fresh yuzu juice. You could finish it with lime juice, lemon juice, could be orange juice. That's all fine, completely up to you. Whilst this is on, we're going to have our granita. So granita today, we're going to make a pineapple and sansho granita. Again, this wants to be made a few hours in advance. Can I have one more pan? Pineapple puree, sugar, water, sake. We use sake. You could use white wine. For the granita, we're just going to boil away this sake with the water and sugar, dissolve the sugar, and cook out the alcohol. Obviously, we're making a granita. We need this granita to set in the freezer. Alcohol does not set, does not freeze, so we're going to need to cook this alcohol out. There we go. I have a question from one of our viewers. Can I use any other fruit with our panna cotta to replace the rhubarb? Absolutely. I mean, any of the fruits that are in season in that moment that you can find in a fruit puree form for the granita, or the fresh fruits on top. To finish this dessert, you can replace with whichever you so wish. So we're just going to bring the water and sake to a boil here. We won't add the pineapple puree until we finish this, and that's just so that we don't lose any of the nice fresh acidity from the pineapple and lime juice. Good squeeze of lime juice in here, and around half a zest. So this rhubarb's come to a boil here now. Just going to turn this down, let it stew away for around half an hour. Now to garnish this panna cotta today, we're going to be using some toasted cashew nuts. We're going to be using some small grapes and longan. Longan, lychees, beautiful in season now in Hong Kong. Of course, as we go through the various seasons, can be using different fruits. That could be strawberries, raspberries, blackberries. Really, the choice is yours. Use what's available and what you can find on the local market. Okay, this sake's come to the boil here. Now it's going to begin to reduce. I don't need to flambe this with a blowtorch. I'm not looking to have any fire-related incidents in the home kitchen, so I just want to reduce that a little bit. In we go with some fresh pineapple puree. Okay, we mix this in now. We just want to set this in a tray, pop it in the freezer for a few hours. So this dessert is going to be a beautiful, refreshing granita on a hot summer's day, of course. If you didn't want to use granita, you could use an ice cream, you could use a sorbet, and of course one of our viewers at home is asking, can we use a different fruit for our granita? Yes, absolutely. I'm using pineapple. I'm going to season the pineapple granita with a little bit of lime juice and sansho. I like to give this granita a little bit of a spicy kick. Feel free to use any of the fruit purees that you can source. So here's a panna cotta I have set earlier on today. Some rhubarb compote, some of our fresh fruits and herbs to garnish. Again, just as I'm coming to finish this dessert here, one more reminder just to join in with our mini game today that we're playing. I want to hear your suggestions, hear what plant-based breakfasts you've been cooking at home. Maybe that will inspire me to put a new dish on the menu at Moxie, and I'll be picking a winner today, and hopefully I'll see you in the restaurant soon. Okay, rhubarb on top of this panna cotta. We have here a granita that I set earlier on. Now once this is frozen solid, we're just looking to scrape away here. It's a little off-putting, that noise, as we scrape that. Beautiful granita on top of our fruit puree. Super refreshing, this. On top now, like I say, fresh seasonal fruits, some toasted cashew nuts for some texture, and I also have some fresh herb. I have Atsina cress. Atsina is licorice, so quite aniseedy. Feel free to use mint if you've got mint in the garden. Could be lemon balm, tarragon. All of these would work really nicely. So, cashew nuts. Yeah, one of our viewers at home is asking any other toppings that I would recommend. Again, pop down to the market, the local market, see what fruits are available. Could be any type of nut or seed for texture. Could be cocoa nibs, it could be a granola. We're just looking for some nice fresh fruits. I like to use nuts for texture as well. Very fiddly herbs from the garden, but it's going to make these look nice and pretty to finish off our panna cotta. And of course, some fresh basil from the garden here in the Miele terrace. Basil to finish off our panis. Okay, so there we have it, 2 dishes. Just to recap, it's panis, which is a chickpea cake with sauce romesco and charred leeks, and a coconut and yuzu panna cotta with rhubarb, pineapple granita. Both dishes delicious, plant-based. As I say, refined enough that we can serve them in the restaurant. You can come and enjoy these dishes at Moxie, and hopefully simple enough that you can make these at home and wow some of your friends and family. Thank you for watching along today. A reminder to join in with our mini game, and I hope to see you at Moxie soon. Thank you.